So I've just turned on broadcast, so we are recording, and we should
We're
start.
live, it says.
Should start seeing some people populate. And let's see. Okay, yeah, a couple have come on. All right, people. Carolyn here from ElderWorks. We will be starting in just a couple minutes. Again, I hope you are here for welcome everybody to gambling, what you need to know, even if you don't gamble. So give you a couple more minutes to let people in, and then we will start. So Sarah, how long have you been with NICASA?
I actually started March 31st, but I've been doing outreach for over 17 years, so.
Great time to start, right?
Yes, right in the middle of COVID. It was quite the challenge, but we did pretty good, so.
Are you guys working virtual, or what has the
I'm
impact?
actually in my office right now, but when we first started, I was in the office for probably 2 weeks, and then they were like, okay, whoever wants to work from home can work from home. So I was home for 6 weeks maybe, and then June 1st, they called everybody back in, so.
Not bad, not bad. So when we get people to set up, should we announce, well, I could put that in the chat. Do you want to put the chat website, the website for them to be interactive, Menti?
Sure.
Okay. As we gather together, we are going to be trying something new for me here at ElderWorks, but it's basically, if you have a smartphone, it allows you to participate interactively. And Sarah has just put menti.com, that's the website. And then there's also a password that's needed, correct?
Yes, I'm getting ready to put that in there too.
Yeah, so if you want to partake interactively, then go ahead and find your smartphone and log on to menti.com. And I believe it's a 5-digit password.
Yes.
Okay. And that is being displayed in the chat line. Oh, it's 6 digits. So again, menti.com 8922124.
Yes.
So anybody that wants to get a head start, that is the information. It is 5:02, so we'll go ahead and get started. So welcome everybody. Again, I'm Carolyn Osuyos with ElderWorks. And if you are here, hopefully for gambling, what you need to know, even if you don't gamble, I want to thank you all for joining us. Just a reminder, this event is being recorded so that you or your friends will be able to revisit. And if you know us, ElderWorks, you may realize that we are ElderWorks Educational Services. We are a not-for-profit 501c3. And what we do is we help seniors and their families find housing, home care, and a wide variety of other resources. We encourage people to plan, and that's why we are doing quite a number of these virtual educational events. If you aren't already getting our Monday mailing list, please contact our office and we'll be sure to get you on the email list. Now, the guidance we provide will help seniors stay at home or transition successfully into a new senior housing opportunity. During this presentation, if you have any questions, Sarah's going to teach us how to answer interactively, but you can also use the chat or the Q&A. And after the webinar, there will be a short survey that pops up on your screen, and we would appreciate your feedback. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sarah Martin, an outreach specialist with NICASA Behavioral Health. Take it away, Sarah.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to go ahead and start with my screen share here. for the presentation. So today we're going to be talking about gambling as a disorder. This is a public awareness workshop. Again, my name is Sarah Martin. I work for NICASA Behavioral Health Services. I am located in Waukegan, but we do have offices in Round Lake, Buffalo Grove, North Chicago. We're pretty much all over Lake County. So what is gambling? Gambling is taking risky action in the hopes of a desired result. Now that is a very minimal description, so we're going to get into that a little bit deeper. So what is the actual definition of gambling? That's like risking money or anything of value on an event for which the outcome is unknown in the hopes of winning more money or anything of value. That could even be at like a church carnival where you put some money in, they spin the wheel, you win. It could be liquor or, maybe some teapots or something like that. That's considered gambling as well. So what are the key components? Element of risk, or the chance that you take when you do gamble. It involves currency, usually money, which is a wager or a bet. The goal of winning is either a prize or a payout, which is a prize. And an unknown outcome. You never know if you're going to win or lose, but you're willing to take the risk to find out. So here we go. If you guys have your phones or an iPad or whatever, and you have signed into Mentimeter, I would like your input. So what are some examples of gambling? You guys can go ahead and enter. Bingo, good one. Anyone else? Okay, so far we have lottery, which is scratch off tickets, or when you go, to the gas station or whatever, and you actually buy the lottery tickets where you pick your number or you let them pick them. Slot machines, which could be at the casinos, or a lot of them. Shopping at Kohl's coupons, good one. Slot machines, a lot of those are located in gas stations. They're all around us down here in Illinois now. Shopping at Kohl's coupons, that is a good one. Every time you go to Kohl's, they do give you a coupon. Does anybody else have an input on this? Okay. No? Craps, yes, dice, absolutely. So some people play craps at home. Some people play craps at the casino. I mean, they gamble everywhere. It's just everywhere. It surrounds us on a daily basis. Blackjack, that's another great one. Any more? Can I get one more? Somebody, anybody, please? Roulette, yes, very good. Okay. So those are just some minor examples. There's many ways to gamble. Sports betting is one. We'll get into that a little bit more in a few minutes. Horses, yes, absolutely. Okay, so do you consider the stock market to be gambling? If you have your phones again, please give me your input. Anyone?
Hey, Sarah, I'm not sure that one's working because my answer is not displaying.
I just submitted mine and it worked. So maybe refresh your screens if you have to pull down on your phone like this to like refresh it. And then submit an answer. Is it working, Carolyn? Did you try again?
I see that somebody's responded in the chat, a couple people.
Okay, let me.
We're all yeses.
Okay, everybody said yes. Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
actually it is gambling. I mean, and even some of us have retirements that are, signed up where you have to, go under a certain stock option per se. That's even considered gambling. So yes, absolutely, the stock market is considered gambling. You don't know if your stocks are going to go up, go down. You're taking a risk. It's a gamble. Okay. What gambling is not. It's not necessarily playing cards or games for no stakes. So if you're playing, rummy with your grandmother or your grandchild or, just anyone, that is not gambling, unless, of course, you put a wager on it. Gambling is not bad as long as you can maintain it and doesn't become a problem. It's not the same thing as problem gambling. I mean, a lot of us gamble. A lot of people buy lottery tickets every Friday per se at the gas station, maybe $5 worth, just to play their odds. It's fun. As long as you keep it for fun and it doesn't like consume you, then it's not problem gambling. What does disordered gambling look like? It's when you need to increase your bets. Like you increase your bets because you're trying to make up for money that you have lost. You become restless, irritable. When you quit, you want to go back and you want to continue gambling because it's all you can think about. There's unsuccessful attempts to control or quit, as with any addiction. Preoccupation with gambling, that means when you're at work, all you're thinking about is gambling. I mean, you can't think about anything else except gambling. Getting back to the casino or buying some more lottery tickets or when is the next basketball game coming on and where can I sign up for my squares, those kind of things. Gambling to escape physical or emotional pain. Then there's problem gambling. What does problem gambling look like? Again, you're chasing your losses. You're trying to, wager again to make up for the money you lost. Like, okay, well, I lost $200, but now I'm going to bet 200 so that I can make 400 and make up for the 200 that I lost. You hide the extent of gambling, lying, possibly not letting people know how much money is being spent, those kinds of things, or how often you're there. Maybe saying someone is going somewhere else than actually going to the casino, misleading. You jeopardize work relationships in school. Possibly needing help paying bills due to gambling. People spend their bill money on gambling. So how to play it safe. The cost is seen as the price for recreation. So if you're going to go to Great America, we'll just use that as an example because it is here in Illinois. You're going to go to Great America, you might say, oh, I'm going to, it's going to cost me $200 to get in. I'm going to bring an extra $300 to spend on food, games, prizes, whatever. It's the same thing when it comes to gambling. If you want to play it safe, you say, okay, I have $200. No matter what happens, I'm going to spend only this $200. And then you have played it safe because you limit your expenses. You play with your own money. So this is money that you've already foreseen for recreational purposes. You're not borrowing it. You're not taking out loans, selling items to get the money, things of that nature. Limits. You set limits and you stick to them. Again, I got $200. I'm going to go to the casino. I'm going to spend $200, whether I win or lose. Once that 200 is gone, I'm leaving. And quit when you lose or when you win. Again, limit, get to that limit, it's over. Time to go. Not using gambling as a coping mechanism. Not going because you're depressed, not, trying to get out of a situation that you're not happy with and go to the casino to try to make yourself feel better. Again, it could be sports betting, lottery, does not necessarily have to be a casino. Not mixing it with alcohol. Certain addictions mixed with other addictions become like a cycle. It becomes like, it can be very, very trying on someone per se. Know the signs of a problem, knowing that it's getting too far, or maybe someone is, spending too much time and it is becoming a problem when others start to see it. Get help if these things occur. Who's at risk? Age adolescents, young adult or senior citizens. Now, when they say age and adolescence, some of us, I know I've done it. I've given my child lottery tickets before. He is a grown man, but I've given him lottery tickets before for Christmas when he was probably 16 years old. We probably don't realize how that can affect somebody later on in life. People with substance use or mental health conditions are at risk. Military and veterans are at risk. Athletes are at risk. Some ethnic backgrounds are more at risk than others. So I'm going to play a video for you. There are 3 different examples of problem gamblers in here. I will stop after each one so that we can kind of discuss the scenario, like what triggers did you see, what issues you might have seen, what makes them a problem gambler, what makes them not a problem gambler. Carolyn, can you guys see it okay?
Hey, what's up, Garrett? Oh, you know, my cable bill, car insurance, blood pressure. Blood pressure, was you need a heart for that? Ooh, cold, man. So, speaking of which, the rest are in the fridge. Thanks. I didn't even hear the doorbell. Yeah, your sister and her husband let me in. They were heading out just as I was walking up. Got a really nice place here. Yeah, I can get used to this. Ooh, oh, whoa. Speaking of which, how long you planning on staying? I don't know, probably just through the holidays. I should be back on my feet by then, I hope. Yeah, Jerry told me what happened. Of course he did. What did he say? Yeah, just said that it looked bad. So yeah, it did for him. I mean, come on, money's missing, so someone must have stolen it. They don't even check with accounting to see if it's something they did on their end. No, money's missing, so I must have taken it. I mean, you stuck around after all that? Just sucks though, man, you know. You guys used to be tight. Well, his boss. Yeah. So have you heard from Nick? Is he coming over? Or? No, I don't think so. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It's about time, huh? I knew they were going to come back in this thing. I knew it. Yeah? You're about the only one then. They're practically in last place. That's exactly why I'm about to make a ton of money when they win this game. You're crazy too. No, I'm just gifted. Seriously though, I keep records of these things in my head. Different plays, patterns. That's why I watch the game with the sound off so I can concentrate. What do you mean patterns? I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's just little things, stuff most people don't pay attention to. It's like this weird sixth sense or something. Seriously? It's just something I was born with, I guess. Something you were born with? Okay, what happened with Nick then? What do you mean? Well, he told me that you were into him for about 500. So, what was your sixth sense on the first that day, or? So that's between me and him, all right? Some gift though. Oh, funny. Anyways, I'll be able to pay him back, and then some after this. So there we go. What are you doing there? What else? I'm up in my bet. Oh, you want in on this? Not now, I don't. It'll be all right. In what universe? Turn up the sound so we can hear what they're saying. No, I don't need to hear what they're saying. Well, maybe I do. Well, maybe you should go over to Nick's house and watch with your buddy Jerry. Really? Hey, you come over here, you start all this crap. Who's starting crap, man? I just, wanted to turn the sound off. Fine, here, whatever. How much money did you put on this game anyway? They could still win, Garrett. How much, Joe? Enough to get me back on my feet, all right? What else am I supposed to do after Jerry screwed me? Did he? What's that supposed to mean? Joe, your place used to be loaded with people on a day like today, man. Loaded. Oh, we sit around and watch the games all day together. You, me, Nick, Jerry, John, Stevie, and them. We had some great times, brother. We really did. And you had to start in with all this gambling stuff. Oh, come on. Everybody was playing the pools, including you. Nobody played them like you, though, man. Nobody. And nobody won them like me, either. You mean nobody lost them like you? around, man. You lost 2 jobs, 2 good jobs. Your place, your girlfriend, and most of your friends, too. Bad luck, that's all. Most of those guys were never really my friends to begin with, so... proof that you took the money. And you know it, too. And he did you a favor by letting you quit and not turning you in. Well, he gave me a chance to explain myself, all right? It's not what it looked like. It's not, huh? So I guess what happened with Nick and the rest of them, you owe every single one of them money, but I guess all of that is not what it looks like either. I'll tell you what it looks like to me, Joe. It looks like a guy with a gambling problem. So now you're turning on me too. Nobody's turning on you, Joe. Everybody just wants to see you get some help. Everybody. So my sister's in on this. Man, I've tried to quit. I have, but I can't. Well, you know, I know some people that can help you with that. I don't know about that, Karen. Well, lucky for you, I do. Come on, we've got somewhere to be.
Okay, guys. So I think we can use the chat box on this one. Can somebody tell me what kind of things did you notice with Joe? Let's start with what kind of gambler was he? Anybody have an input on that? Yes, absolutely. Sports betting. So due to his sports betting, what kind of things did he, let's say, lose in his life because of his problem gambling? Family and funds, absolutely. He lost his girlfriend. He lost his home. He's living with, exactly. He's living with his sister and her husband now. He drinks. He's irritable. Did anybody notice that he kept saying, oh, I have a sixth sense? What that means, that's magical thinking. Like people, a lot of us think things that aren't, you know, actually happening. Like some people go to the casino and now they have it where you just push the buttons and, you know, the wheels spin and stuff on the slot machines. But some people, you know, they'll come and they'll still pull the button, or, you know, some people go to bingo and they have their little troll set up and they, you know, everybody's got their own little thing. All of that is magical thinking, especially when it comes to gambling. And as we know, with gambling, the house always wins. So your chances to win in gambling are very slim to none. Okay, so let's go on to the next scenario. Did we lose the first one here? All right, I'll just fast forward it. Okay, so this is Ron. Can you guys hear the video?
Yeah, no, we can't hear.
Okay,
Oh,
so
now
if I
we
mute
can.
okay.
Now we got it.
Wow,
Okay.
that's dedication.
What?
Just, not too many people would cross the frozen tundra here for the quick fix.
Just no.
Yeah, well, my husband just told me that the governor declared a state of emergency, so.
Oh, yeah? Well, I guess it is getting a little worse out there.
I swear this machine has a life of its own. Sorry, it looks like it's gonna be a minute.
Sorry, I'm not going anywhere.
Who is, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you know my husband, Frank, right?
Yeah, I met him at the 4th of July parade a couple years back. He was driving that black 57 Chevy.
Yeah, that's Frank, all right. Yeah, I keep telling him to give that poor parade a break. People don't need to see that car every single year.
Well, I mean, it is a nice car. I mean, I'd want to show it off.
Yeah, it's all right, I guess. Keeps him out of trouble anyway. And, it's a lot less expensive than his old hobby.
Oh yeah, what was that?
Gambling.
Yeah. Doesn't look like the type.
Yeah, well, he was going through a tough time though when he went through all that. His dad had just died. Got skipped over for a job he really wanted. It was a bunch of stuff really, but I told him to try and take his mind off of it, go out, have some fun. Of course, I was thinking vacation, hanging out more with the guys, whatever. But instead, he starts bringing home his lottery tickets.
And what? You went from the tickets to the casinos or something?
No, just the lottery tickets. Sometimes scratch-offs, but mostly just the tickets.
That's pretty unusual. I mean,
Not really. You'd be surprised. The whole thing kind of snuck up on him.
yeah. How do you mean?
Well, he won pretty big in the beginning, playing his dad's birthday and our old phone number. Now, why on earth he picked that number, I'll never know.
Well, sometimes things just feel lucky. You got to go with your gut.
Apparently. But anyhow, later on, he won some after that, but nothing like that first time. That was big. And then later on, the odds turned against him, and he wasn't winning squat, which is totally normal. But Frank, you see, didn't think of himself as normal. No, he had a gift, a system. So he thinks about it, decides he just has to go out and bet more. Not less, more.
Well, in some situations, sometimes more is better.
When it comes to dessert, maybe. But usually more is just more. And unfortunately, that's what it was in this case, too.
Well, what I mean is, it's like, even the best players, hit a rough patch. They go through a losing streak. But when they come back big. I mean, gambling, it's just like any other sport, really.
Not too many other sports are going to turn you into a liar and a thief, which is exactly what Frank became. All that just so he could gamble. His disease almost ended our marriage.
Disease? Yeah. Well, what do you mean disease? I mean, wasn't it just in over his head?
No, Frank wasn't just some gambler. He was a problem gambler. He had an addiction. Just like some alcoholic who can't stop drinking. Problem gamblers are no different. It really is a disease. I know. I saw it up close. And now I know exactly what it looks like, too.
How did he? How did he get help?
They helped him get started.
Still not working though.
Not today.
Okay, guys, let's talk about Ron. Again, I think we can use the chat box, right? Okay. What did you notice about Ron? Does anybody want to tell me what they noticed first before I speak on it? Okay, I can start. So basically, he was a lottery. It was a different type of gambling than from what we saw with the first one. He was determined, to say the least. I had a hard time hearing from where I'm at. I'm sorry, Carolyn. He did, in a state of emergency, he still wanted his tickets. He literally went outside in a blizzard to make sure that he had his tickets. Okay, yes, he does seem to have issues. Do you guys feel that he came up with many, many excuses? Yes, absolutely. willing to go to any lengths for his gambling. Yes, absolutely. He referred to gambling as a sport. And he wasn't aware that gambling could become a problem. What I found interesting about this particular clip was that she kept referring to her husband. So I think we learned a lot about Frank in this as well. What can somebody tell me about Frank? What started Frank's gambling? Anybody remember? Death of his father. Good. Yes. So, and then his job ended up passing him over after his father died. So, then he was basically using it as a coping mechanism. He had a really big win at first, they said, and then he kept chasing it, but he never, ever actually got another big win. His wife referred to him as a liar and a thief. A lot of times problem gamblers do lie, they do steal, and a lot of times they are in also denial. So were a lot of similarities from Ron, and I think the first guy's name is John, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, or Joe, from Ron and Joe. So what we're going to do now is we are going to watch the story of Marcia.
Mom, when's Grandma coming? She'll be here any minute, sweetie. And there she is. Hey, you. Grandma's here. See? Where? There. Okay. If you say so. Am I late? No, you're a little early, actually. Oh, shoot. Oh, what happened to your watch? I guess I need a new one, huh? Didn't Ronnie just buy you one for your birthday? You know that? I miss you too. Oh, you just missed my cookie. Cookie! Ooh, you better take some of them from me. See that? You are in for it tonight, believe me. You'll be fine. Come on in, sit down. So where's Michael? He just left work. I'm meeting him over there. Yes, Dennis. Dennis, now you be good for Grandma. I will. And Daddy and I'll be back soon, okay? Okay. Okay, I love you. All right, see you, Mom. Bye. Good, Mom. Can we stay here tonight? I don't want to go back to the gameplay. Hey, I was saving this for later, but... Oh, I love this one. Well, why don't you go in the other room and play it then? Thank you, Grandma. You're welcome. You still here? So, what's the game, please? Huh? Oh, that? I don't know. You know kids. Yeah, I do. Where have you two been going? Nowhere. Okay. I mean, sometimes we might go for a drive. Really? Where to? I don't know. Does it matter? It matters to me, yeah. Please, keep your voice down. Somebody's going to hear you. So, it's not going to exactly be news, will it? You always get so worked up. What, over my mother taking my baby to the casino, you mean? That child never set foot in the casino. No, of course, because you locked him in the car with some DVD, didn't you? Oh, my God, I thought he was just telling some story. Honey, it's not like you think. No? What's it like then, Mom? Keep your voice down. I can explain. What are you doing? I'm letting Michael know I'm going to be late. Real late. Look, I didn't really expect to be there that long. Oh, my God. I just had to run in real fast. Hold on. You had to run to the casino with my child? You wouldn't understand. Oh, just try me. It just helps is all. It just helps. I'm sorry, you're going to have to do way better than that, Mom.
father died. I had a real tough time.
I remember.
Oh, no, you don't either. Because I never told anyone exactly how bad I really felt. Yeah, Aunt Mary, though, she knew. She knew. She was the one that got me going back out. After all that time alone in that house. She invited me out with her girlfriends on one of their casino trips. Just for something to do. All we ever played were the slots. In fact, when I passed those cards out front, the ones that said to call if you had a gambling problem, I think those poor people, you know, I mean, that wasn't us. We were just there to have some fun, you know, to forget the world for a little while. And I did too. When I played those slots, I did forget all the pain missing your father. I forgot a lot of things. Problem was, once I got back home, that pain would just start right up again, come rushing right back. And after a while, I just couldn't take that, Shauna. Not when I knew there was a place I could go to forget.
But you seemed fine.
Well, I can see in a lot of ways. I learned that trick a long time ago. I also learned to take care of my own problems and not be a burden on other people.
You started selling things so you could still gamble. And that's what happened to the gift, the watch that you got from Ronnie.
Sold a few things, yeah.
Just so you can go back and gamble?
It's like I said, it's complicated. It didn't start out like this, though. It really didn't. In the beginning, I'd win some. Then I'd lose a lot more. See? Then I felt like I had to win it all back again. Make it right. And before you know it, I'm bringing my grandbaby along for the ride. Because I just can't stay away.
It's okay, Mom. It's gonna be all right. You just need some help, is all. Okay? We're gonna get it for you.
No. This is my mess. And I'm going to clean it up myself.
Mom, this is bigger than you now. Okay? There's no way you are going to go through this alone. Not anymore. Right? Not anymore. Okay? It's okay, Mom. It's okay. It's gonna be okay, I promise, okay?
I'm Joe M. I'm Ron C.
I'm Marsha H. And I'm a compulsive gambler.
Okay, let's talk about Marsha. Can anybody tell me what kind of gambling Marsha was addicted to? Put your grandchild in danger, get your fix. Absolutely. In regards to your thing, Carolyn, okay, yes, casino slots, absolutely. The thing about the casinos is, the way that the sounds are and, the just everything that's going on in there, it's all done so strategically to allow people to actually escape from the real world and to keep them in the building and to keep them spending more money and, have them feeling like it is some type of getaway. Again, it's strategically planned and strategically done. Yes, taking her grandson to the casino is a big no-no. There are no clocks or windows on purpose, absolutely. And they give you free drinks. They let you smoke. They do all these things to keep you in there. They make it very easy to get more money. You could take out loans. You get, VIP status after you visit there so often. You might get a free room if it's a casino that's in a hotel, things of that nature. So what did Marsha use gambling for? What started her gambling? Because she really was one of the ones in this whole series, the one who started so far later in life than anyone else. Loss of her husband, absolutely. Yep, escape pain or loss. I mean, and think about it. Now she's alone. She had her husband all these years. Now she's alone. And just like she told her daughter, you had no idea what I was going through because I didn't let you know. Dream world, absolutely. Escape the world loneliness. Yes, absolutely. And I think sometimes when people do get lonely, they, just like she said, oh, it didn't start like this. My friend invited me, just for this weekend getaway to a casino just to get out of the house. And it went and it spiraled from there. She was chasing losses. She did win at first, and then she wasn't winning anymore. So now she was chasing losses, thinking she had to, get all that money back. What did you guys notice about the meeting at the end of how everybody was in there? Started innocently, absolutely, that is true. Happy that they all got help, absolutely. But you see how it doesn't matter what kind of gambling you do, whether it's lottery, casino, sports betting, they all fall under the same umbrella when it becomes a problem. It's not, specific to one thing. Men and women, old and young, absolutely. Races, sex, yes. Very good, you guys. I appreciate it. All right, let's move on to the next slide here. I got to get out of here somehow. So how do you think problem gambling hurts people, families, and communities? Now, this is another slide where you guys can interact with your phones or your tablets. Gonna look on my phone here. Okay, I added those. So yes, one may go into serious debt. I didn't spell bankruptcy right, forgive me. Bankruptcy is another one. Anybody else have any input? Are you guys doing it in the chat again? Am I missing it? Lost savings, absolutely. Let's look on the chat. Did trust, yes. Divorce, yes, that's a big one. Big one. Friends and family, yes. Money away from family, yes. Loss of trust, yes. let's talk about, what was the judge? Joe. So Joe actually stole money from his employer. He was in denial about it. If you guys can remember that situation. He was actually really lucky that his employer didn't press charges on him. There's a lot of times that, if you ever feel like it, you can always look it up on YouTube and stuff like that. There's thousands of stories out there about people who, were embezzling money from their employers. Again, just chasing the losses. A lot of these people are in control of money in big companies, and they end up actually going to prison and stuff like that because of their gambling. And unfortunately, taking someone who has a gambling problem, putting them in prison is not the greatest rehabilitation per se, because there's more gambling in prison than there is anywhere. Anybody else have any more? There's so many. I mean, we could go on for 2 hours just on that. Kids' college funds. People spend their kids' college funds, their retirement funds. They cash in their retirement funds. I mean, you just wouldn't even. Somebody just added one. Debt, lost job. Yes, people lose their jobs. And think about it. If someone were to lose their job from embezzling money from a company, then you lose your retirement. You might lose your life insurance policy. You can lose everything and lose your savings. Yes, that's another good one. Stealing the kids' piggy banks. Absolutely. Absolutely. That happens way too often. Anybody else in the chat? One more. What we got? Ultimately cost them their life. And let me speak on that now. Did you know that the suicide rate of problem gamblers is higher than any other addiction? And that is one of the reasons that I have a job. And that's one of the reasons that everybody in this industry is out here doing what we do, trying to reach the public, trying to, get the word out here, give the resources out to people in our communities, because that is a fact. There's a lot of people that actually do try to commit suicide because of the problems that they get into from their gambling. Got one more in here. Let's see. Yep, it is. Isolation, shame, feelings, a vicious cycle. Yes. Very good, you guys. So how problem gambling can hurt in regards to that last slide where you guys did your input, debt and bankruptcy, job problems, job loss. Again, a lot of times problem gamblers, they'll be at work, but their mind is not at work. Their mind is at the casino. Their mind is chasing those losses, getting the money back, things like that. Relationship problems or divorce. Homelessness. A lot of people would, just like with Joe in the beginning, pretty much he's homeless. He's living with his sister and her husband. It's not his home. He's living with someone else. Lost his home when he lost his relationship, his girlfriend, his job, everything. Health problems. Now this one I'm probably not going to go into a lot of detail about, but there are health problems that come along with problem gambling. I know one of them is, I want to say liver disease is a big one. And there are some medications too that people are on that actually trigger gambling too. We do have more sessions. We do have more webinars. It's just not something I get into in this basic webinar that I'm giving to you guys today. Legal involvement, again, like what we talked about earlier with white collar crime, people embezzling money, things like that. Excuse me. And there you go, suicide. Do you guys realize that gambling is all around us? We have casinos, especially in Illinois. They're putting casinos up constantly around here. The lottery, every gas station you stop at, I'm pretty sure you can get lottery tickets anywhere. Bingo, churches, bingo online. The bingo you can play anywhere. Video gaming, online sports betting, and even with coronavirus, how so many casinos, like they had to come up with an alternate plan, just like the rest of us did when COVID hit and we were all quarantined and everything. So you can actually, play slot machines and stuff online to get that fix. Sorry, guys. And sports betting. Of course, we all know what that is. How many spots are there to bet in Illinois? This is another one you guys can chime in on either in the chat or on Mentimeter. It is so dry in here. I am so sorry. And I drank all my water already. So we got 143,000. Anybody else don't know? Okay, well, it's actually 43 and 80 are both absolutely correct. In January of this year, they actually, it became closer to the 80,000 than from the 40,000. So again, there's gaming cafes, there's gas stations with game, terminals, there's sports betting, it's just unlimited. It's everywhere. Even if someone doesn't gamble, they might care about someone who does. They may be a caregiver to a gambler. They might have a caregiver who gambles. And a gambler might be borrowing from them. So what can you do? Talk about it, just like you saw in the videos and just like I'm doing today. Just spread the word, talk to people, let them know that it is actually a problem. You can learn more. Again, you can always contact I'm going to give you guys a bunch of resources at the end here. You can contact a resource. You can Google it. You can look it up on YouTube. There's just masses of information in regards to this. Can keep resource cards on hand, just like in the second video when the lady kind of just handed the card to the guy and said, they helped. And even with Joe's friend, his brother or whatever, he handed him a pamphlet. So, these people helped. Discourage underage play. Again, maybe not give grandkids, younger children, lottery tickets for Christmas, and start that way. And again, know the resources. So what are our resources? We have a statewide helpline for all of Illinois. It's 1-800-GAMBLER. And we also have a website, www.weknowthefeeling.org. This website actually has so much information that is helpful on there. You might just want to go look at that because they have webinars. They have so much information that is beneficial in regards to this and other things. Gamblers Anonymous. This one's actually out of Chicago. So it's www.gachicago.org. And their phone number is 1-888-548-2790. Gamblers Anonymous or Gamnon is www.gam-anon.org. Their phone number is 718-352-1671. And all of these lines have 24-hour people on call. So if any of these numbers get called, you will get an answer. Illinois Gambling Problem Registry or Problem Gambling Registry is igb.illinois.gov/PGR. 1-877-YOU-QUIT. They do have monthly emails of resources for problem gambling that they send out. And last but not least, us, NICASA. So we have free counseling for gambling problem. We have counseling for the loved ones of gamblers. We have a free program that actually blocks online gambling. So if someone says, oh, I'm a problem gambler and it's just too tempting every time I'm on Facebook or every time I'm on the internet, these ads pop up and it's just, it's just triggering me. It's making me want. We have a program that we will provide for any gambler who requests it free of charge that will block all of those ads and things for popping up for 1 year. Our email address is gamblingservices@nicasa.org. And our phone number is 847-546-6450. So here you guys go. You guys can interact here. You guys can send me questions on your cell phones, iPads, whatever you're using to interact on Mentimeter. Or you can also tap in on the chat box at the top. Yes, Carolyn, it's very easy to get hooked. Saw your comment.
Well,
Which one?
Sarah, that was really fun, the interactive portion of it.
This one?
Please put the last resource page up.
Is
Can
it this
you go back
one?
to
The one
the
for NICASA?
There we go.
Okay, okay.
Up.
And I just want to say thank you guys. You guys are my first Zoom presentation with this material. So thank you for letting me try it. You're welcome for letting me try this out on you and for being so patient with me through it. I hope
Well,
you got
I
some information.
For you participants, you are going to get a little feedback link, and your feedback helps us refine the agenda, the content. And I would say personally, I enjoyed that this was more interactive than most webinars.
Thank
So
you.
I really did enjoy that. So I appreciate everything you've done. And I'm sure we'll have you back again, Sarah.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, everyone. I think we're done a little bit early, so you can go have your dinner. But once again, Carolyn Osuyos here with ElderWorks. We appreciate you tuning in and embracing this new normal with virtual education. So thank you again, Sarah Martin from, is it NICASA or how do you?
NICASA.
NICASA Behavioral Health in Waukegan. All right, if there's no further questions, meeting adjourned. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay. Recording is going to be off.